Okay, hello everybody. It's been quite a while since I've done anything like this, but this guy I know, Whang, he's got a YouTube channel. I'll put the link in the description. One of his friends, Izzy Nombre, I believe he said, got the idea started about like telling stories from when you were a kid, like some dumb stuff that you used to do, and he told two of his. So Justin, in response to that, this first one is, I was really young. I want to say we had just moved here, so I was like maybe 5 or 6 years old. And I have 2 older sisters and a younger brother, and my baby brother at the time was somewhere, I guess, with my mom or parents or something like that. We lived in this house, and down from the house is this garage that has like these little offices in it. So like a car garage with offices. And I went looking for my mom or something down there at one point, and wandering around trying to find her, and I saw one of these little razor blades on the desk, and I was like 5 or 6. I'd never seen one of these before. So I picked it up and I looked at it, and I kind of like touched it on my thumb, sliced my thumb open. Like, it was bleeding a lot. You know, young, fresh, you know, smooth baby skin, just blood everywhere, to like freaking hemophiliac. Like, mine has just been gushing. Anyway, my thumb's bleeding, I'm panicking. I'm like 6 years old going, this is a lot of blood. I go walking back up to the house, and I start trying to put Band-Aids on it. Well, the Band-Aid, I'm bleeding so much that the Band-Aids just fall off. They don't stick. Anytime I try to wipe the blood off, just more blood's coming out, and eventually I start to get panicked. I'm like really young at the time, so I start crying, and I run out, and I hold my thumb up, and I said, I need help. My sisters are sitting on the couch, and they look at my thumb, and they think I'm just pulling a prank, and they say, wipe the ketchup off your hand, stop this. And I tell them in a frantic panic of tears, it won't stop bleeding. Eventually they come over, and thankfully I didn't have to go to the hospital with that one. They eventually got my thumb to stop bleeding, and I hope they learned an important lesson from that. Second story I can think of is, I was really young. I think it was maybe like 2nd or 3rd grade kind of ish. I don't know how old I was. I was probably like 8 or 9. I remember I got in trouble for something, and I got forced to sit outside of our classroom. And while I was sitting outside the classroom, I was upset and bored and nervous, and I unknowingly, or rather somewhat subconsciously, tied my shoelaces together. And I tied them in a way that I didn't know how to untie them. So when I heard that the teacher was coming back, I kept trying to untie them, and I panicked. And I got scared. And she tried to make me stand up, and I was like hiding my shoes and hiding my laces, like sitting there with my head and my knees and everything. And she got me to stand up, and I tripped and I fell. And then she looked at my shoes, and she's like, why did you do this? And I was like, I didn't do it. And then she asked who did, and I panicked, and I just started saying names. And I think I said like my mom had tied them or something that morning, and it was really stupid and embarrassing. We ended up having to like use scissors and cut my shoelaces. But telling the razor blade story made me think of a really quick short one. I was really young, like 3 years old, and they had this like Batman shaving kit. And there was a little razor blade that was like shaped like the Batarang, and you had actual shaving cream. And this was way back in the day, like early 90s. And I remember at one point I couldn't find the Batman one, so I took my dad's razor blade at like 3 or 4 years old, and I tried to shave with it and sliced my neck and my face open somewhere. And I started bleeding a lot, and I remember they've told the story before, and they can remember like just finding me with like shaving cream and blood all mixed over and having to clean my face up before my mom got home. Yeah, so that's a couple of little stories and dumb things I did as a kid, but I know a lot of dumb stories really happened, for me at least, throughout the teenage years. I've gotten these little stories out of the way as a kid, so Whang, what is at least 2 really dumb, funny stories from when you were a teenager? If anybody wants to hear any more stories as far as like when I was a kid, let me know. Comments, video response, anything like that. Until next time, later.